Hello everyone. Today we're going to start a new chapter. So today's chapter name is Weather, Climate and Adaptations of Animals to Climate. Now these terms weather, climate might seem to be similar to you, but there is really a huge difference between the term called weather and climate. And adaptations, will be discussing how the animals adapt themselves to the different climate to survive. What are the bodily structures of those animals, or what are their food habits. All these things help them to adapt in different hostile circumstances or hostile environment. And also depending upon the climate, these all factors are related. So that's all we'll be discussing in this chapter. So today we'll be first discussing what is weather. Now you might have all heard about this term called weather. If you watch news regularly, then at the end of the news there is something called the weather report, forecasting. So why is it given? It is to know not only about the world, but as well as to know about the environment. What is the condition of the environment that we are living in? So that is what we call as the weather report. So is it going to rain today, or is it going to be sunny, or what will be the condition outside during the day, during the night? Will there be wind or any other weather factors that would happen in the upcoming time? So this weather is generally given to us to know or be prepared for the upcoming natural condition. So without wasting time, let us first know what is this weather. So weather is the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere at a place with respect to temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, etc., and that is called the weather. So it is nothing but is the day-to-day condition. Every day the weather report is being forecasted in the news channel, because this weather condition depends upon various factors such as temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, all these things. Temperature we all know. Mostly we are focused on the today's temperature, how hot it is, how cold it is. But there are also other factors like humidity, rainfall, wind speed. All this determines the weather condition for the day, or the weather condition of a particular place. So this is somewhat is shown to us in the news channel and the weather forecast, or even nowadays in your smartphones there is a weather widget or weather app that you can install, and you can check for yourself what is the current weather report in your location. So here it is given Guwahati, Assam. So today's weather condition was mostly cloudy. You can see 34 degrees Celsius. It can also be converted to Fahrenheit. In some news or in some apps it is converted to Fahrenheit, and some are written in Celsius. So it depends upon what you want to see. Along with it, some other data are also given to you, such as precipitation, that is 10%. Precipitation, as you know, rainfall, it deals with the rainfall. Then humidity 77%, then wind speed 13 km per hour. So these details are also necessary to be known, because the term weather not only depends upon what is the temperature of the day, but as well as upon these factors. Depending on these factors, the weather changes. So the temperature, humidity and other factors are called the elements of the weather. So if you are asked what are the elements of the weather, so these are some of the elements of weather: humidity, rainfall, it can also be said as precipitation, and wind speed. These are some of the elements of weather. Depending upon these elements, the weather changes. Now the weather of a place changes day after day and week after week. Yes, the weather doesn't remain constant. It is very fluctuating, or it changes within a few moments. You cannot say that today it is sunny, that it won't rain. It might rain depending upon these elements of the weather. So weather changes very abruptly or very drastically, you can say, within a few moment of time. So the weather of a place also changes or varies, you can say. If it is raining here, it's not necessary that it will rain all over the country. Some places it might be hot, some places it might be cool. So the weather fluctuates from place to place, day to day, and time to time, you can say. So you can see here some weather forecasting is given, 24-hour forecast. So what would be the tentative weather condition of a location in the next 24 hours. So whenever it is given on the basis of a time limit, say 24 hours. You cannot say that the weather, still it is just a, you can say, predictive, it is done in a predictive manner. We cannot be fully certain that sometimes it's given thunderstorm or rainfall may occur, but it might not occur as well. So you cannot be fully sure that it will definitely happen, since you know that weather is always changing. So it is just a tentative prediction, you can say, that it might rain today depending upon the weather elements. So here you can see Sunday it was 3 degrees Celsius, Monday it is 4 degrees, then Tuesday 7 degrees. So gradually the temperature rises. Then Thursday it would rain, 60% chances are there. So in this way the weather varies from day to day, from week to week, from time to time, you can say, and from place to place as well. Now next is, the weather is such a complex phenomenon that it can vary over a very short period of times, and thus it is not easy to predict. As I said, it is just a prediction. Still the prediction might be wrong. We cannot be fully sure that today it would be this or that. You cannot say that it's sunny and it will remain sunny the whole week, or it is rainy, it will keep on raining for the whole day. You cannot be sure. So here you can see a chart is given to you. This is a time gap of 1 hour. In 3 p.m. it was 32 degree. From 4 p.m. also it was 32 degree. But in 3 p.m. as you can see, it is mostly cloudy, and suddenly it started, you can see, thunderstorm, and then the thunderstorm stopped. In 5 p.m. again it is 30 degrees Celsius, a little bit cooler now weather, and it turned to cloudy. Then 6 p.m. again the temperature dropped to 1 degree. It is 29 degree. So here you can say that, and these are the chances of precipitation. So here you can see that how drastical changes have been occurring in the weather, not only in terms of temperature, also in terms of this precipitation or wind speed or whatever natural conditions. You can see sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's thunderstorm, sometimes it's rainy. So depending upon all these factors or the elements that we have talked in the last slide, depending upon that, the weather fluctuates very abruptly from time to time. We cannot be sure when what will happen. Clear? Now next is, in regard to the weather, the maximum and minimum temperatures of the day are recorded. Yes, if you see carefully, then in the weather report, one more thing is also added to it, that there is a maximum temperature and minimum temperature. So what is this maximum temperature and minimum temperature? During the whole day, there is a maximum temperature that might reach, and there is a minimum temperature. So when does this maximum and minimum temperature usually occurs? During the whole day. So the maximum temperature of the day generally occurs during the afternoon, while the minimum temperature of the day generally occurs during the early mornings. So you can see here high and low. Sometimes it's written in the newspaper or in the news channel, in the weather report. It's written as high and low. So this high indicates the highest temperature that might be attained during the whole day, and this is the lowest temperature that might be attained during the whole day. It's in degrees Celsius. So this is the maximum temperature that might reach today, and this is the minimum temperature that might reach today. So this indicates the temperature drop and rise during the whole day. So that range, you can say, is high and low. This gives us a range of how much fluctuations might occur during the whole day. Sometimes it also happens that this maximum temperature and minimum temperature, the difference is very less. So that means the whole day the weather would remain mostly same. It might not change. And if there's a huge difference between this high and the low, or the maximum and the minimum temperature, then you can say that yes, the weather would change very drastically today. This also indicates some of this information. So when this is generally occur during the afternoon, it is really very hot. If you compare it with the morning sun, during the afternoon, the weather is really hot, you can say, especially during the summers. And during the early mornings, it is much cooler, you can say. That's why you can say that during the early mornings, the sleep is very good, because the weather is very cool. It is at the minimum temperature at that point. But if you go to sleep during the afternoon, it is really hectic. Why? Because at that time we reach the highest point of temperature during the whole day. So this, you can say, lazy afternoons, or you can say very warmer afternoons. So during the afternoon, mostly the temperature reach at its highest point. So this maximum and minimum temperature, within this range, during the whole day, the temperature fluctuates, and it brings a change in the weather. So that's it for today in this topic called weather. In the next class, we'll be discussing on another topic. So I hope you all have understood today's class. So this is basically related to the nature. If you study the nature very carefully, so these things what we have discussed today are very obvious things that occur in the nature. And if you study it carefully, then you would find that how drastically the weather changes. You might have also seen that these clouds float in the air, or you can say the clouds positions or the patterns also changes. This is also related to the weather condition. They also determine how this weather might change. Also the wind, it doesn't always blows. The wind doesn't always blow. Sometimes it blows, sometimes it's not. Sometimes the wind is cool, sometimes it's very hot. So it also depends upon these weather conditions. So that's it then. Thank you and have a nice day.